soon, currently in ninth grade. In middle school, I got mostly B's and an occasional C. I was wicked proud of my grades. So was my mom. My mom did her best to prepare me for high school. She bought me the late...
Eli lesson.
Do you remember the Amazing Spider-Man movies? The movies that came out between 2012 and 2014? Yeah, so I've been holding off talking about the Amazing series in this way because every time I revisited this script, it always felt like I was at a funeral, just sadly looking at what it was and what it could have been. Something that's been criticized to death by a bunch of YouTubers, myself included. If you wanted to know why these movies are fundamentally broken on the basic levels of filmmaking, then please check these videos out. And it's sad, because I do have a soft spot for the Amazing Spider-Man series, flaws and all. No one really bothers to talk about the themes of these movies because they're too busy picking them while they're already down. So I'm not hoping to change anyone's views on these movies. I'm not here to convince anyone that these films are the best Spider-Man films. I'm not sure if I could convince myself that, but rather just talk about why Andrew Garfield's character Spider-Man isn't as bad as everyone says it is. And yeah, I know there's a risk of me looking like a fool just for defending Andrew, but at least you'll know that I died trying. First things first. I think one of the most powerful things that came from this series was its theme of overcoming hopelessness and growing up. Peter gets his powers, gains confidence, beats the bully, and gets the girl back to back. Like he hits this high point in his life where he feels like he's on top of the world, damn near the first act. That's a pretty gutsy move for a character like Peter Parker. Honestly, that dramatic change from being a quiet wallflower to an outgoing guy may throw some people off, but I think it helps to highlight the theme of hopelessness. Peter immediately loses his uncle shortly after. Then he loses his girlfriend's dad. He loses his dad's friend. He loses his girlfriend. Loses his best friend. Then he really loses his girlfriend for good. The way the director and Sony wanted to tell the story of this Spider-Man is actually really interesting when you look at the other guys for comparison. Tobey's Spider-Man gains his powers pretty early on and beats up the bully. Then he feels a little bad for doing what he did, then he gets happy again. He happily beats up a wrestler, loses his uncle, kisses the girl, breaks his friend's heart, gets to meet an idol, breaks his friend's heart again, loses the idol, gets the girl, and then actually loses his best friend. Or how about Tom's Spider-Man? He meets an idol when he's 8, he presumably loses an uncle off-screen, gets to fight alongside his idol, loses his trust, becomes an Avenger, dies, and comes back in Endgame. Probably. The storytelling behind both Tobey and Tom's version seems to be a series of varying degrees of highs and lows of their lives, spread out within each of their movies. Whereas Andrew's is more as one whose life starts at the highest point it could possibly be, and then things take a turn for the worst and just plummet downwards the worst way possible. It's as if Peter's life in The Amazing Spider-Man gets progressively worse and worse as time goes on. Nothing remotely positive ever happens to him following the first act of the first movie.
Huh? I speak English. bruh. You're tripping. Go to the circle. That's tough. Get some better internet, bud. Go to the circle. um You're so bad! You're terrible! Get better at the game, you